And that was a quick break. We're back.
Let me see.
This is some serious history. Waple's the historian left, so I have to capture all this stuff.
You see, I know this because I had to get. So I think Bernie sent this to me. She wanted a request for a Barbados birth certificate for your grandfather, which would be her father,
Richard Walker.
Henry Walker.
Richard Henry
Walker.
Excuse me. Everybody called him Low Walker.
Yeah.
He died the year I was born, so I never met him, but I know him as Richard, and everybody calling him Low Walker.
Yeah, yeah. He was born the 11th of October, 1889.
Wow. That's history.
Yeah, and his parents were George and Emily Walker.
Okay.
Then your grandmother was Viola Beatrice King.
Okay.
And she was born the 15th of September, 1902.
Yeah, we had the same birth month.
Right. Her parents now was Rosa. You see, this is what you Wilshire. Rosa Wilshire King. So she was Wilshire Mary King.
See, this is stuff I never knew. Okay.
And her father was Frederick King.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because Hubert Taylor focused on the Chase side of the family. So that's Edward and Amaryllis Chase. Okay, so we haven't done the Walker family tree.
Oh.
So this is good. I'll take a picture of that later for you, Miss Rochelle.
That's that thing. Who else was here?
Okay, so you never met my grandfather.
No, I think
he died. Well, he died in 1956 because that's the year I was born.
No, because we went to Trinidad. We spent our honeymoon in Trinidad in '69. And when I went to your grandparents' house, only Viola was there.
Yeah, he died the year I was born.
Right. So yes, he was dead. Yes. I never met your uncle either, because he was in Venezuela.
Uncle George died a long time ago.
But he was in
died
Venezuela,
of cancer of the lung.
You know.
Yeah, he left Trinidad. He used to run my grandfather's what's it called? A lumber yard. The one that I knew was in Aruca. Alan said that Uncle George had one in Samoa somewhere, that he used to go visit him there. Yeah, but I never remember the one in Samoa for some reason. I only remember the one in Five Rivers. It used to be down by. Do you know a woman called Miss Fraser? Okay, you know where the railroad tracks were?
That's where.
Where in Aruca, where grandmother lived on the house here. Yeah, Thomas Trace. Well, going down Thomas Trace, at the end of that road there was the lumber yard. Yeah.
Well, there was let me see, Thomas King, Pauline Wilcher.
Who's this?
Viola's mother was Pauline Wilcher. And his father was Thomas King.
Okay. All right.
That's as much as I have for them.
And how do you find all this out?
Because
they told you?
Bernice had sent this information to me years ago. She wanted, for some reason, she needed a birth certificate for Richard Henry Walker and Viola Beatrice King. And also a marriage certificate. Okay. That's when I discovered, hey, they were actually married here in Barbados. Yeah, but I don't know why they went to Trinidad and then they came back here.
Well, you remember those years, right? Those years that you're talking about. My grandfather was born in what year?
He was born in 1889.
Okay, what was going on in those years?
Oh, Lord. 89. What happened in 89, Sam? 89? Yes.
When was emancipation? What year? When was emancipation?
18
something.
Yeah. No.
65
72.
18 something.
So they may have been on the tail end of the cusp of that, you know.
Because they came back.
That's because people didn't understand why people left Barbados to go to Trinidad and whatnot. Okay, I think, in my estimation, okay, nobody else but mine, that it had to do with the migration of people leaving plantations, okay, and going to where it was better, or they moved and they never talked about it to us. They never told us what happened. But all these people that were born in the 1800s.
Because we would have had more slaves here, I think, than Trinidad.
Yes, they had sugar plantations here. And what they had in Trinidad? Cocoa plantations. And what else?
We had a lot
sugar
of slaves
cane.
in
They had
Jamaica.
sugar cane too.
Yeah, but not as much as here. We were really a sugar producing country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like a lot of what they call them, indentured servants came from India and all across the world. But for us, the blacks that came from Africa, we stopped. We can't trace back from a certain point. I wrote a poem about that, you know, because it's more like a short story kind of poem. You know, time stops because nobody spoke about it. And they didn't teach it in the schools.
No. In school in the Caribbean, you learn
So
English history.
so when we can't go back, that's what happened. That blank spot was the end of slavery, beginning of freedom. And nobody spoke about slavery.
It was too painful to bring
They don't
back.
speak about it. Not even one word. To even think that could have happened, you know?
Even though they don't want to talk about it.
They don't want
They
to.
don't want to remember that at all.
Yeah,
It never
so
happened.
when my
Emancipation was declared on January 1st, 1863.
1863, and what year was
That's in the
grandfather born?
States. But I think the British declared it before that.
Before that?
I think so, yeah. I think the British did it first.
1863, you said, right?
1863.
Yeah, 63, and grandfather was born.
That 1889. He was born in October 1889.
So he was born after the end of slavery. And when they talked about COVID and stuff like this, right? I went and did my research as soon as it started becoming public. And I realized that Dad lived through the worst pandemic. Yeah?
Spanish flu.
Whatever flu was going on.
Spanish flu was
Yeah. Dad was born. He was like either 2 years old or just born during that period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it came back. Or it didn't go, it went hiding and then it came back. It killed a lot more people after
Yeah,
that.
because he was born in 1917, right? My dad.
Oh. Well, Alfonso.
Yeah. So when I looked it up, because I figure if there's going to be a pandemic, we better know what happened so we can survive it.
The British declared emancipation in August 1838.
Well, that's
So
a long time.
25 years before the U.S.
Really?
Yeah, because the British used to send warships to stop these slave ships going to the States on the high seas.
But they were out there bringing them over.
Who, British?
Yes, they brought them over.
Yeah, but after the...
How do you think all the Jamaicans end up in
Of
England?
course they did, yeah. But after the declaration, it was illegal to do it, so they had to sneak and do it. But they used to block the American ships bringing over theirs on the high seas.
Yeah.
They couldn't do it in American waters, but they had to block them on the high seas. I'll be here for a while, folks, if you want me.
He's
Don't know,
gone.
you're watching O'Donnell.
Yeah. All right. This is us signing out.